What is free-to-play? To help you understand what a free-to-play game is and how it works, I've made a diagram that I'll be running down in order to help you wrap your mind around this crazy, contradictory world. A game that is free-to-play is pretty self-explanatory. It is a game that is free of charge to the consumer. A game that can be played without the player having to spend a penny enjoying the world that they're in. Sounds too good to be true, right? Well, it kind of is. If you think about it, the companies that make these games often spend millions of dollars to produce it, and then they release the game for free. How do those companies make their money back then? Microtransactions. Now you're going to hear this word a lot, so I should tell you what it is before we continue. A microtransaction is the buying of virtual goods with the use of in-game currency converted from real-world money. In layman's terms, paying real money for virtual money or products. But doesn't that contradict what free actually is? Absolutely. But not all games require you to pay to enjoy the game. There are multiple different types of free-to-play games, but I want to focus on two main ones, pay to win and what I will call pay for cosmetics. I want to tackle these two individually, so I'll start with pay to win. What is pay to win? Pay to win is the payment model in games that allows the player to pay a few extra bucks in order to get an unfair advantage or to get content that would not be given to a player who did not pay extra. We see this free-to-play model a lot in games nowadays, especially in mobile gaming. A game that has become popular these days is Candy Crush for iOS, Android, and Windows phones. You get 5 lives to match 3 or more colors to get points. If your score is high enough, you beat the level and you unlock the next one. It's so painfully simple. So simple that when you lose your lives, you feel the need to buy more lives in order to beat that level. But doesn't that sound like the plan? Underneath the cavity-driven game is a ton of things to buy, such as power-ups, lives, and get more levels. But how do you get those? Ding ding ding, you guessed it, microtransactions. This game has a lot of its own currency that can be acquired by paying real money. The game isn't subtle about it either. It practically throws it in your face when you lose all your lives or if you're having trouble with a level. The price ranges for their currency start at $1, which is the cheapest, to $5, $10, and then $21. $21 for a mobile game, just so you can buy a few power-ups and a couple lives that you'll lose within 5 minutes of playing. This business model doesn't only exist in mobile games, it exists in PC gaming as well. With the rise in popularity of massive multiplayer online games, otherwise known as MMOs, since the release of Blizzard Entertainment's World of Warcraft in 2004, many other games have tried to follow the pay-to-play model, but have failed and ended up going free-to-play. A game that has tried to conquer the MMO juggernaut but failed is Electronic Arts' MMORPG Star Wars: The Old Republic. Being released in December 2011 in America, it tried to follow Blizzard's $15 a month payment model but failed, going free-to-play in less than a year in November 2012. But look on the bright side, now you can play as a Jedi or a Sith in the Star Wars universe for free. Kinda. This game has become notorious for its free-to-play-ish model. It's ish because it allows a player to pay $15 a month and get some perks. As you can see, everyone is able to play the story content for free, but as you go down the list, the amount of perks for paying players is overwhelming. The ability to sprint at the start of the game, higher login queue priority, more character customization options, gain more experience, full customer support, and the list goes on. To add salt to the wound, they even have their own in-game currency that is used for almost everything in the game with the help of an in-game store. The pricing ranges from $5 to $10 and jumps to $20 and stops at $40. I hope you're starting to see the shady territory of free-to-play games, or more or less the pay-to-win isn't the safest neighborhood to be in. Let's do a quick recap of what we've learned so far. Free-to-play is a genre of games that allows the consumer to have the game free of charge, but has in-game purchases through what is called microtransactions, a way to buy virtual goods with real money. A subgenre of free-to-play is pay-to-win, the payment model that allows players to pay in order to have an unfair advantage. Two games that use this model are Candy Crush with its ability to harass you with power-ups, and Star Wars: The Old Republic and their unfair advantage to players who pay monthly. Time to get back on track. I want to talk about a different aspect of free-to-play, a more honest way to make money: pay for cosmetics. What does this mean exactly? Exactly what it says. You pay for the things in order to make your character look the way you want to. No extra abilities, no experience restrictions, none of that. A game that excels in the free-to-play world is ArenaNet's Guild Wars 2. Guild Wars 2 is an MMORPG with a long history in the free-to-play world. The first being released in 2005, this quickly becoming Blizzard's biggest competitor in the online gaming market. How does a game that's free to play compete with a game that's paid to play? To be fair, Guild Wars 2 isn't entirely free. It has a one-time purchase of $50 for its Heroic Edition, which comes with a set of cosmetic armor and some convenient items, or $70 for the Deluxe Edition, which comes with the same bonus as the Heroic Edition, but a few more convenient items that don't affect the performance of your character. These prices do tend to drop about 50% quite often, which most other games don't do. After that purchase, everything is free from then on out. To get back to the question, how does it compete? Like the Old Republic, Guild Wars 2 has an in-game store, but what separates their store from the Old Republic store is what's in the store. The store in Guild Wars 2 has three main things. Cosmetic items, which change the appearance of your character. Boosts that help you level up as well as other things, and account add-ons such as extra character slots and things along those lines. These three don't give any unfair advantages and are more for aesthetics and convenience. I want to focus on cosmetics as they are the main part of this payment model. These cosmetics are in the form of armor and weapon skins, a way to change the appearance of your current equipment. This is never required and can be ignored completely with the large amount of items and weapons that are obtainable throughout the game. A nice thing about these skins is that new ones come out on a nearly month-by-month basis. That way the store doesn't seem stale. Now, I already know what you're about to say, and yes, microtransactions. Their microtransaction prices are a bit higher, but equal out in the end, starting at $10, $20, $35, $50, and $100. A reason this evens itself out is that there is actually two ways to acquire this currency, either real money or in-game gold you get from playing, so if you want, you don't even need to pay real money. Another reason this isn't as bad as other games is that all the skins that come out are equal to the $10 you pay, so they don't make you pay for more than what you need. To round up everything that has been said, free-to-play is a good idea for the way a game makes money. The money is made through microtransactions, which can get abused by things like pay-to-win games like Candy Crush and Star Wars The Old Republic. But on the bright side, there's pay for cosmetics, which allows you to put different skins on your equipment that don't grant outlandish benefits and can be acquired by the default currency or ignored entirely. Hopefully by now you can see the convoluted world of free-to-play games and have a little bit of an understanding as to what to look out for when you're sitting in class playing a game on your phone or buying a game for a family member. I hope this video has helped you see how greed can corrupt an entire aspect of a product, and hopefully you can spot this in things you buy on a daily basis. Thank you.